Hello students. Following along in your book, I am on page 308. And if you go to figure 9.1, it talks about purpose, it talks about the factors for effective groups. And I think this is a significant diagram because it really goes into the three internal factors that are included into effectiveness of group settings. The purpose and the type, the context and composition, and the internal factors. What does a group or a team do? What they do is essentially come together and share a whole bunch of different synergies that play on all of the members' skills and talents. So purpose and type would be improving performance, increasing effectiveness, completing projects, managing ongoing processes, learning and development. So that would relate, one second, to the purpose and type. Next we would go to context and composition. When we talk about context and composition, we're talking about coaching and support, composition and roles, knowledge, skills, and abilities, better known as KSAs. Then we go over to internal factors. What are some of the norms? What are some of the developments? What is the decision-making process? And then we look at the barriers to effective groups. Now, going over to page 309, I want you to go to the second paragraph. And basically what it states is management teams conduct planning, policy making, budgeting, staffing, coordinating activities for organizations. And most management teams also share responsibility for managing subordinates. Executive teams and corporate boards are two common types of management teams. For example, right now, with the coronavirus situation, we have project teams. And project teams are often called task force, short-term projects that hopefully will get all the experts in a certain area and plan how to get through some maybe an uncomfortable situation like we have going on now. So when we talk about project planning and executive teams, they're really not on the strategic end, for long-term goals in an organization. Their goals, as your book states, are narrowly defined and are single-minded to the point where they are performing a function that is going to be essential as a team to an end result in a relatively short period of time. And most of the time, these task forces have specialized skills in a certain area, and many on the team are addressing complex situations and are experts in those particular situations, like Dr. Fauci. Anthony Fauci of the Corona Task Force was an expert in infectious diseases and allergies. He's a world-renowned expert in this particular area. And then you have production teams. Production teams focus on production of operations, and they typically involve improving performance by increasing effectiveness and efficiency of an operation. And a lot of times in manufacturing, you will have production teams that are specialists in their area, but they are part of what we just talked about, that KSA group, knowledge, skills, and abilities. They have a particular knowledge and skill in an area, and they know exactly how to solve problems, such as individuals in airplanes, um, customer service teams, say for tech departments, high tech areas, and maintenance teams. And the thing is that the short term projects usually, or the task force, usually parallel the long term goals. It's just that there are specializations needed in a particular time and place. So the specific purpose of the group will determine what the outcomes the organization is looking for. Now, with the groups, these groups more than likely will be working on long-term developments, okay, long-term goals that strategically support the organizational mission. And other times, teams will look at specific organizational goals that may or may not be on track. So, going over to page 310 in your book, they talk about context and composition. And getting to the point, the success of the group, say like in a factory environment, the success of the group depends on the type of support it gets from all of the sources around it. In an organization, the success of production means that we have the right types of people who bring um, the raw materials to the production department internally and externally, process the information, and then use total quality management to make sure what's being produced is correct with what's going out the door. And all of these areas need coaching and support. Process coaching improves interpersonal relations between members. Behavioral coaching helps to change the behavior of the organization and support the assumptions made by specific members in the organization. And then you have developmental coaching, where works in process are tailored to the needs of a particular developmental stage, as it states in your book. So there are other types of support for coaching groups. They include reward systems, compensation and recognition programs, and support groups. A lot of groups are self-managed. They have experts and specialists in a particular area. And developmentally, they continue to grow and they pretty much know where they need to go. So that's as far as I'm going to go for this phase. Take a few minutes to reflect.